the law clearly says, thou shalt subject to audit vote by mail ballots. With no qualification, that means all of them. Now, San Diego and Los Angeles County were only auditing those ballots that were part of the semifinal official tally. Well, I even got questions from people who have been involved in this. What the hell is that? When they announce a result on election night, that's your semifinal official tally. Any ballot involved in that tally on election night is semifinal. And LA and San Diego and a bunch of other counties were just auditing those ballots those votes that were announced on the first night. Never mind that we had tens or hundreds of thousands of provisionals. Never mind that you have 3 days for ballots to get in on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They weren't auditing them. And we're talking 4 million ballots?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, we're trying to dig up some information now. It's not readily available, and we're going to have to go county by county to get an idea, but 4 million ballots is not a bad estimate that are not being audited. Now, what happened is that there was this bill, AB 840, originally was about dealing with envelopes, vote by mail envelopes that don't have signatures on it, and what's the procedure for dealing with it. And we read that and go, okay, next. There's hundreds of bills going through Sacramento just in elections. And after the Assembly voted for 840, that was on April 20th. The authors introduced an amendment on May 23rd saying explicitly, you don't have to count any ballot that is not in the semi-final official ballot, that is in the election night reported total. Everything else coming in later, 10, 20, 30% of your vote is not subject to an audit. We learned about this Tuesday. And part of the problem was that what we're learning is the people behind this were telling legislators, oh, this is about the provisionals. Well, the law says nothing about whether or not thou shalt audit provisionals. Ray Lutz is pursuing that in court, and God bless him, I hope we get a victory out of that one too, but so far, not there. The thing is the vote by mail ballots, and a judge said, thou shalt count the vote by mail ballots, all of them. And now they're trying to rewrite the law to override the judge. This is what's going on. And unfortunately, we spend too much time in Sacramento, we see this stuff. It's kind of hard. So what's going on is that the Progressive Democrats of America, Voting Rights Task Force, Ray Lutz's Open Ballot Initiative, and some other organizations that are launching as of about 5 o'clock this afternoon a campaign to get AB 840 recalled from the Senate and pulled back into the Assembly because it's been changed. Now, I've never heard of this being done, but I talked to people who really know and see how they can do it. We need to put public pressure on the Assembly Elections Committee, because they're going to need to get a spine and say, yeah, this represents a big change from what we voted for. There was nothing about auditing vote by mail ballots on the bill that we voted on, and now it's in there and it's significant. So one, if you're Californians and you are especially constituents for Mark Berman, Matthew Harper, Ian Calderon, Evan Lowe, Kevin Mullen, Jim Patterson, or Shirley Weber. They're all on the Elections Committee of the Assembly. And especially Mark Berman's the chair, and he's the primary one. That needs convincing, and he's a freshman. This is his first year, and we need to kind of help him stand up. Educate him. We will have something posted on Voting Rights Task Force California on Facebook. I'll get something up this weekend and count it as cast about numbers to call, but the short thing is to write, if you do nothing else, write to Lori.Barber at asm.ca.gov. She's the Secretary of the Assembly Elections Committee.
How do you spell Lori?
Lori. Barber as in barber shop. Barber. Lori.Barber at ASM, which is the assembly.ca.gov. We need to flood that committee with demands that they call the bill back from the Senate that was modified on the Senate side. I mean, there's the reconciliation committees in Washington, and they consider that normal. I haven't heard much of this going on, but we're going to have to stand up and say, hey, this one you got to take another look at, because there are serious problems with it and serious implications for our elections in California.